It's the Bloody River Podcast. Enjoy, bitches.
Welcome everybody to the first episode of the Bloody River Podcast. I'm David dBrain, one half of the Dark Hills gang, and without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump right into this episode. The original format that I had for this episode, I'm throwing out because there are a lot of things that we need to go over so you as the listener can judge for yourself what the fuck is really going on. Now, keynote, disclaimer, whatever you want to call it, we did not schedule this interview with King Krimzon to start shit. We started this interview with King Krimzon to call him out on his shit. And actually, that really wasn't the original intent. The original interview that we have is me asking legit questions, okay? Legit questions. And not necessarily to King Krimzon, but Mr. Nicholas. The man portrays himself as King Krimzon, okay? Just wanted to get to know him a little bit better, you know? See if this man actually has a heart for his family. Instead of going on the Dr. Phil show and agreeing, I beat my wife, I stole some money, I got all this shit on me, because he admits he already had a bad look and image for King Krimzon, so he needed to do something quick and fast, apparently, by going on the Dr. Phil show and making himself look even more like a fuck-up. So before I get into the interview, and actually inside of the interview, there are going to be some things that I call out. We recorded this interview February 3rd. The next day, February 4th, Mr. King Krimzon wanted to make a video talking about his experience with coming on the show and having a little debacle debate with Chuck Reeves. And for those of you who don't know who Chuck Reeves is and what this whole debate is about, let me just kind of hurry up and just fill you in. After the episode of the Dr. Phil show aired with King Krimzon on it, he started doing interviews with a lot of underground networks. One in particular, he was on No Fucks Given Radio. And the way their format is set up, anybody could call the number and call in, just pop in, start a conversation. So within those people, Chuck Reeves was one of them. To call in, call him out on his bullshit a little bit, whether if he was being an asshole or a dick about it, who cares? He was speaking his mind, right? I really wouldn't say they had a back and forth debate about the whole situation, but needless to say, Chuck Reeves got under the skin of King Krimzon so much that he hung up the phone. After that, King Krimzon started making accusations that Chuck Reeves had somebody, his goons, come to his trailer and spray paint dicks on the outside. And then supposedly, King Krimzon's manager got Chuck Reeves' YouTube channel, The Beard Speaks, taken off for 3-month suspension. All because in one of Chuck Reeves' videos for his thumbnail, he used a picture of King Krimzon's face with a dick on it. That's a good reason for bullying. The king of murder rap is offended by people that don't like him. So anyway, in the vlog video, he wanted to say,
well, King Krimzon, I understand you said that you've done this as a joke. They try to downplay you.
Like I said, I started King Krimzon as a joke. It was literally a fucking one-night joke at a Halloween party.
If you would like to, you can go over to Underground Wicked Radio and find the King Krimzon interview and find it yourself. And then within this interview that you'll soon hear, if you want to hear, I asked him about the deal that he kept on saying that he had that was going to do big things for him. He was setting up a tour and all this other shit. This motherfucker goes straight into talking about the Dr. Phil show. So I tell you what, y'all can judge for yourselves. Either I'm in the right or the wrong, who gives a fuck? We're all gonna die anyway. But the fact in his little vlog video, he wants to say that we're a bunch of nobodies and he's never heard of us. Motherfucker, nobody really heard of you until the Dr. Phil show. You're somebody that is fucking up constantly because you are so focused on the people that hate you and all the backlash that you're getting from being on that show that you're not even fucking thinking about the positives of what you should be doing, planning ahead. If all of this shit bothers you so much that this is the only thing that you're talking about, apparently you're not that self-confident about taking your shit forward. You're making vlog videos about people that are talking shit about you or making fun of you more than you are just putting out your shit. Do you see any other artist who is supposedly successful like you wasting their time by making videos and comments on people that fucking hate them? And as far as your fans that you call killers, I call my fans the killers. That's really fucking original. Yeah, keep on giving fans names. We see how fucking well that turned out.
I'm not the one.
I'm trying to tell y'all.
Send out a warning.
Yes, you didn't check your mail, dawg.
Why you acting bitch?
They should get your ass from mail, bro.
It's time to go gorilla.
Make these motherfuckers hell, bro. River Podcast.
And welcome back, everybody. This is David dBrain, and I actually have somebody on the phone. He goes by the name of King Krimzon, known as Nicholas. Am I getting that right, Nicholas?
Nicholas, holy shit, no one's called me my government name in so goddamn long.
Like, is that fine if I call you Nicholas? Because I want to get to know Nicholas more than I want to know Krim, because ever since, like, the Dr. Phil thing, everybody has picked apart King Krimzon, so I want to know what Nicholas is really like. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, if you want, yeah, that's fine.
All right, well, I remember hearing you say the whole King Krimzon thing started as a joke, and then it turned into an actual job. So when did you decide to make that complete transaction from doing it just because you could do it and then turn it into something that I guess you could find gold with?
Basically, I believe, I transformed when me and Chaos kind of got in an argument, because we actually started together, we were high school buddies, best friends, and, when we got in that argument and we kind of like, how people beef out, and we were mad at each other, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do a hate track on this dude, and I'm going to show him that I can do this by myself. So it kind of just brought me to that hostile at that time, that hostile, attitude that says, oh, I'm going to do this myself now without you. And, and that's when I became King Krimzon and started doing my own shit, so.
How deep have you been in this game?
I've been doing it now, since 2010. I've been doing King Krimzon. I am a family man during the day, so like what you see is what I do on my downtime. I'm a dedicated artist to what I do, and it's hard when you're doing two different things at a time. You want to do all your music, but you can't, because at the same time I got 5 kids, and people don't realize that. They don't see that part. That, I got my hands full, like crazy, dude. So I'm a dad during the day, and I'm an artist and do what makes me happy at night. So,
Right. Have you ever thought about, because I've had a complete change in how I write and how I do music, and in the beginning it was all about the wicked shit and being as wicked as you could be, mainly just to get the attention and the shock value factor of somebody's attention, But as progression through life and understanding everything that has to come with family, kids, job responsibility, my writing started changing. I could still do the wicked shit if I want to, but it's I've keen more into just reality type of shit, and I feel like that makes me a better artist. So have you ever thought about just totally changing the whole King Krimzon thing into something that's more personal for you? Because it can still be a therapy type of outlet, but do you feel more comfortable doing the theatrical type of thing, or would you feel more comfortable just really letting shit out for real?
People don't realize, King Krimzon, I do a show, dude. Behind my little act that I put on, it's a show. It's more than just me singing. The singing's only part of it. The show comes with it. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. To be honest, who wants to sit and listen to 18 tracks on an album just talking about murder? It gets boring after a while. There's only so many songs you can write about murder, and it gets fucking boring. And a lot of people don't. I put a video up earlier today, but I do other stuff besides just murder rap. I've even done gangster type rap mixed with a little bit of murder rap, just to kind of because I'm saying you can only do so much of singing about the same thing, and then it gets boring after a while. But I want to keep my persona with the stage effect, but it is good to kind of test other waters and kind of just mix up some stuff with it, just to give it a little more taste, because like I said, I've only been doing this since 2010, so I'm always down to try new things, to mix some flavor with it, or see if something sounds better, or, because what people are hearing out there is old stuff, like I said, and my new stuff don't drop till April. So, but actually I'm doing a surprise, and I'm dropping a bunch of tracks next week, because, like my buddy said, he says, dude, you get a lot of attention right now. A lot of people are coming to your sites. Why not drop that shit now? Those shit you got done. So I said, you know what, you're right, man. I'm gonna do a video for this, and I'm gonna release some new tracks next week so people can finally hear. So I'm I'm actually releasing a track with Mr. Servon, the dude of No Limit Records, and that's going to be the track I release next week.
All right, what is your current status of your deal you said you had going on for yourself?
What do you mean by that? Like rap-wise or?
Yeah, rap-wise, and also the tour. Like I've been hearing like just mixed just different stuff on the internet about the tour was happening and then it's not happening. So what's really going on?
Right. Okay. Well, as people don't know, because on TV they couldn't. You know, we had to come up with a decent story. And I'm not saying all of it was fake. There's a lot of stuff that's true, like my old criminal record and this and that. And but besides that, you know, I have to have back surgery again at the end of this month, which sucks. A lot of people don't know that. So this is my third back operation. So I'm having my back operation at the end of this month. After I'm healed and stuff, I'm not doing my shows until May. So, like, right now I have so much stuff going on, but I do have some private events. I've got some venue events, and we're actually announcing the dates, like, this week coming up, the ones that we do have booked. You know, for me as an artist, I believe, you know, at one time, because I passed up a lot of shows and opportunities because I was asking a little too much, I believe, at the time. It's just a lot of people don't realize how much stuff comes with my stage show, how many people it takes to do one of my stage shows. It's hard to explain if you haven't seen it, but I mean, I've put, and this is the true, you know, I've put pretty much everything back into King Krimzon. Like, this stuff is, like, with all the monster suits and the stage props, and I mean, it has costed a lot of money, man. And, you know, and that's why I actually bring the entire show. But to bring the entire show, you know, I also have to pay everybody that is involved with it, and that's why it, you know, costs so much to do one of my shows. You know, I'm not making. By the time I pay everybody off, like, you know, I make money off my merch, yes, but I'm actually just kind of happy because when people do see the show, they're like, man, I didn't know. Man, that was a sick shit. I didn't know you had a show like people that have seen it for the first time are like, wow, dude, I didn't know you could bring something like that. Like, and then I actually gain a lot of respect from people, like, and I mainly do shows all throughout Michigan. And then people, when they see it, they're like, wow, dude, I didn't know, man, I was sleeping on this shit. And like, so just for me gaining them people is enough for me. I mean, yeah, I make a little, but after paying everybody off, I don't make much, dude, you know. But it's just good to know that I rocked the crowd and people had fun, and that's all that really I'm happy enough just to do that. I'm not out here trying to get rich off people, you know, and like I'm a newer artist trying to, you know, put my shit out there. And, you know I've been around, done shows other places, but I'm trying to do my own little, like, mini tour and actually bring my flavor to people that do want to see it, just so they can, you know, witness it.
All right. A couple of days after the Dr. Phil show episode finally aired and everybody was able to see it, I did catch the interview that you did with No Fucks Given Radio.
Oh, God.
And I heard the run-in with Chuck Reeves and everything. So, like, how did that completely start? Like, was it because he was calling you out and, like, you were just so sick of the bullshit? Like, just what was the whole argument and how did it start?
Okay, like, before I came on the radio, right, and they were like, oh, well, we already got all this already figured out. We're going to have people coming on asking you good questions, so don't worry. I was like, okay, so, like, I've never been on this radio show before, so I got on there, and there were so many people talking at once. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, I didn't know they had multiple people on there. So then all of a sudden Chuck is on. I didn't know it was Chuck, and he's sitting while these other people are talking. I'm trying to hear what's going on, and then all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute. Are you trying to blaze me, dude? Like, so it just sank in, like, after a minute of hearing him and say, this is Chuck Reeves, East Coast, and he was like, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. And then I jumped in, said what I said, hung up, because I was told I was coming on the interview to do an actual one-on-one interview. I didn't know that other people were jumping on and all these people at once were interviewing me on there. So it threw me by surprise because I wouldn't have signed up for that, you know?
I got you. The No Fucks Given platform is kind of like anybody can call in a number and it automatically, like, just kind of like comes in. I think that's
right.
The platform. So,
see, I didn't know that. And he asked me to come back, and I actually talked to him a couple of days ago. Only thing I did not like is how after I hung up, I was going to call back after I got hot-headed for a minute. But then I seen him like talking shit, and I'm like, man, that's fake. Like, I just kind of, you know, and I just told him the other day, I said, you know, no hard feelings, dude. It is what it is, you know. I'm not trying to make enemies out here. I'm just trying to fucking, people that do enjoy myself, I'm just trying to show love to them, man, you know. So, yeah.
100%, you do believe in defending yourself as far as yourself, your family, the music, and everything, right?
Correct. My family comes before my music, and you know, it's sad to say, even in the Dr. Phil show where I told my wife I will always pick King Krimzon first. Right. But see, that was staged. She knew it. I had to beg her to fucking do this show. Like, I had to beg her mom, because they told us no, we couldn't do it unless I got a third person. No one would do it. I had to literally beg her mother to actually do this show. She would not do it for the longest. Like, I got denied, like I said, 8 times before I actually got approved. Like, and then, well, when I got approved, they're like, well, we can't do it again unless you can have another family member that agrees with Melissa. And I'm like, oh God. And then Linda did it for me. So, you know, it's just, and people, you know, they'll say a bunch of different shit like, oh man, you sold out, or you did this. Why did you have to do that? And I'm going to tell you why I had to do that. Because I was so far in the dirt from all the bullshit that was put on my name. The only thing I could do was possibly go on national TV, because where I was at, it didn't matter, because I was going to be in the dirt forever anyways down there. By going on national TV did not hurt my reputation worse than what it already was. So, I mean, all it did was help me a little bit, you know?
All right, well, one thing I want to say before I start this next segment of the interview, this thing with Chuck Reeves, I happen to be an affiliate with Chuck Reeves, okay? I don't pick stuff. Right. I don't do none of that stuff. I see it for how it is, and I let people speak for themselves. I'm going to bring Chuck Reeves on, and we're going to have, hold on, we're going to have a grown-up conversation about this, because this all has to do with his YouTube channel being mainly on suspension for the next 3 months, and a lot of it evolves around the thumbnail that he had of your face, and he photoshopped a dick on it. Like, was that?
Now, can I say something? And you see how he went off on me, then he took my wife's shit and how he blamed that shit on me when I did not get word of it until later on. Mike told me, my manager was like, hey, I fucking got this dude's YouTube took down. I haven't got the messages still. He was like, yeah, I got this dude. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, he had your picture up, and he goes, I fucking reported that shit and got it took down. I was like, oh shit. Like, I didn't even know about it at first. So, like, for Chuck to fucking come at me and blame me on that shit when it was my manager that did that without me even knowing about it, I didn't even know he was up broadcasting with that shit, you know?
Yeah, this is why I want to get stuff out in the air, and that way it's not...
With Chuck, you can't talk, though, dude. And that's what sucks, because that dude will try to fucking downplay you. He'll try to talk over you. You know how he is. And that's what I don't like about Chuck. Bro, listen, do you know if he wasn't sitting there having all his people reporting my shit and putting my wife up there, I wouldn't be fucking with him. Like, dude, this is unnecessary shit that's going on here. Like, we all got better shit to do than fucking do this childish bullshit. But, you know, I'm a hard-headed motherfucker, too. So, like, you know, I'm not going to sit back and watch him degrade my wife and then put it all over his broadcast, you know, without reacting. You know, and I'm sure you'd do the same thing, too, if you were in my shoes, you know?
All right, well, I want to go ahead and bring Chuck in if I can get this. And like, we're gonna do this as grown-ups. You know what I'm saying? Chuck is going to be Chuck. You're going to be you. I'm going to be me. And you don't have to worry about anybody calling in and jumping into the conversation. You don't know who the fuck they are or whatever. So this is going to be an unbiased, grown-up situation. Chuck, are you there?
Yes, I am. How you doing?
All right. What is the one thing to start off with that you have to say to Nicholas, not Krim, but to Nicholas?
You know you can't, like, report someone for bullying somebody else on the internet, right?
Well, you're saying I reported you. That was my manager that reported you. He told me later on that night, he said, oh, by the way, I got your boy knocked off YouTube. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't even know you were live with that shit at that time. Now, I even have the original messages from him when he sent it to me. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I got him kicked off YouTube. I'm like, for what? And then that's when I found out. So, but then for you to attack me, you came at me like I fucking purposely. So yeah, of course, later on I put on my status, yeah, I got Chuck kicked off because it was my manager that did it. So, but you know damn straight that I like fucking, you know, we go back and forth, and I never had a problem with you saying shit about me. I thought it was funny.
Stop. We don't go back and forth. We went back and forth one time, and it was more like I went forth and your ass went back to your fucking bedroom to cry. Why is it when I came at you at NFGR with the questions as to what you hope to achieve by being on a mainstream talk show whose target demographic are white women over the age of 35, and you didn't have an answer? So
yes,
once
I did.
again,
It's the way you approached me with it was so. There was so many.
I'm sorry. How's this? Is this better? Mr. Krimzon, what exactly did you expect to happen by going on a show, mainstream show, right, whose target demographic is white females over the age of 35? Have you ever seen the commercials on Dr. Phil? It's not 40 ounces. Can I finish my question? Have you ever watched Dr. Phil? The ads that they show, the ads they show during Dr. Phil are for shit like Depends adult diapers and Massengill. Are you trying to sell your item next to that shit? Because that's what that's for. You might as well have gone on The View.
Talk show in America. I've got a lot of publicity out of it because over 20 million motherfuckers watch that shit.
I got a question. What intern at Harpo Productions fucking told you that Dr. Phil was number one when Dr. Phil is clearly not even in the top 10 when you got Maury and his paternity test
talk
beating
show
him?
of America. Go look it up. Google it.
Yeah, the number one talk show for the demographic of white women over the age of 35. Let's move on.
I'm going to tell you why I went on there, Chuck, and this is why we never talk, because you don't let me tell you. Okay, you know, everybody fucking talks shit, says I'm a rip-off, this and that. I was already so far in the dirt, it didn't matter if I went on that show.
So I got a question. Okay, I wasn't going to bring up the old shit, because I ain't involved in the old shit. I'm involved with everything.
That's why I went on the show. It couldn't hurt me any more than what already has been done. Without me going on there, I would have still been the same fucking person, Chuck.
Okay, I got a question, and this is a question for Nick. How can you say to me that by going on TV and letting your wife say that you beat her, by admitting that you stole 20 grand from your mother,
which I did,
how did you think you weren't going to end up any worse? And part two to that, did you really spray paint fuck CPN inside your own house?
What's that got to do? Yeah, I already admitted to that. Fuck yeah, I did. Okay, talk some shit about me. That's already over with.
So you're crazy enough to spray paint fuck CPN inside your own home, but you want us to believe that I spray painted lip dicks on your trailer?
I don't give a fuck what you believe. And who fucking, you guys are the ones that, I said the dicks, and you guys were like, oh, look at it, says scam up there. Yeah, that was fucking been there, and I told everybody that.
I never said that. You went on the internet and accused me of sending dick goons after you. Like, you accused me of sending dick-drawn goons to your fucking trailer home. I'm not that dude. We don't know each other. This should not be a personal beef. But I'll tell you what will make it personal is you continuing to somehow insinuate that I engage in bestiality by using Photoshop little funness and you Photoshopping shit. Now you want to talk trash, you want to Photoshop pictures of me, but you don't like it when literally I get a half dozen pictures of your bitch tricking it out for fucking PJB, and I'm in the wrong for doing that, but you can Photoshop me sucking off a bull or whatever.
Dude, we all laughed at that picture. There's nothing bad about that picture. We were having a good time that night. She fucking took a picture with
I'm sure she did. I'm sure her PJB and Spanish side had a fantastic fucking time. I'm sure they had a great time.
Who gives a fuck? And
listen, Quim, you got me taken down off the internet, but I'm going to be all over the place this week.
You want to fucking name call all that bullshit. You don't know who I know in this industry, dude, and I'm making big moves.
King Krimzon. King Krimzon.
You
this is Phil McGraw. This is Phil McGraw. How is it that Chuck Reeves has achieved 40 new subscribers on his banned YouTube account since the day you got him taken down? If you're such a hard ass. This is Phil, by the way. I don't know if you remember me from the television show. I'm the motherfucker who told you, do math.
Anyway, back to the scheduled plans with Bloody River Records and all that shit. If you like this shit, you need to motherfucking subscribe to the YouTube channel because we got plenty of shit coming out. But I guess I could be having a bad day, you know, no worse than the day that our homie Knuckles had.
Got up, I was sleepy as fuck. I didn't want to go to work. After I got some coffee, I fucking drove sleepy as fuck to work. Got to work, sat through a fucking bullshit meeting trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for the day. Figured out the bullshit I had to do today. I was like, damn. Now I gotta fucking, actually gotta work today. That's some bullshit. I hated that. Drove downtown, went to this place called Maritan. Put in a bunch of mortise locks and a bunch of glass doors. That shit sucked. Had to get down on the ground and fuck with that shit. That ain't no fun for a fat man. That's hard on the knees. It's hell to get off the ground for a fat motherfucker like me. Shit. Then after that, I went to Cookie Canuck and had lunch. I got a poutine burger. Big and sloppy motherfucker covered in gravy and cheese curds. Cause I'm a big fat fucking piece of shit. And I eat burgers like that all day, motherfucker.
Thank you for tuning in. See you next episode. We out this bitch. Make sure you subscribe, motherfucker.
It's the Bloody River Podcast.